Hello, humans, it is me, Fuzz, yes. And we're going to be playing some Destiny 2. The weekly reset has happened, I guess, about an hour ago, almost? I was able to get on about an hour ago. I had to test that a little bit. But I didn't actually log in fully. Like, I logged in, but then I was just at that menu. The character select menu. So, Iron Banner's up, huh? Interesting. Suspension. There must have been a problem with it. Uh-oh. No, I didn't. Hold on a moment, I see what they're saying here. Huh. Ridiculous punks. Wait. And your ratio of complete to incomplete matches is too low. You were temporarily suspended from competitive playlist. Last time I played, I was doing trials with my younger brother, but that's not how it ended. The heck are they on about? I left a competitive match before it was complete. I did not, actually. In fact, I didn't even force take us out of any of the matches, like, when they were complete. I just let it go ahead, from what I remember. It did kick us right as a match was going to start, but the match didn't even actually start. Like, we didn't even get to... It didn't even start showing us our opponents, really. I don't even know if we started to properly take off. What with it is a new week and all that. The app now sees these weapons. So I was able to see that this weapon does have more rolls. Unfortunately, it doesn't. This one does not get adaptive munitions. But in the slot with collective action, it can get something far better. Precision instrument. That, paired with explosive head, could be very interesting. I do not think the adept bow can get that. But I don't know. I mean, that kind of a combination, I mean. Yes, I was also able to check the sidearm, which it only had so many other nice rolls, if I recall correctly. But Vault Shot, as it's showing there, was one of the options, yes. I wonder if they'll show the weapons now, or if they'll still be hidden. Why do I feel like it showed it here beforehand? Yeah, it's a caster frame. A strand one. Very nice. In concept. There's more story that should be out this, well, as of today, and I think I will tackle it in this session. What's that? Oh, well, seeing as how they banned me from something I didn't, like, do anything wrong in, I couldn't even try to go get this if I wanted to. But it's somewhere really annoying to go in the first place, so I don't really see the need to focus on it right now. Is there anything else abnormal? I see they didn't fix their mistake, which is probably not really a mistake to them. Huh? Okay, that's weird. It shows it solid as if I could just equip it, but no. Solo without leaving the activity. We can do that. It'll probably take a while, but we can do that. I think. Based on how it was, let's see, what will be the worst things? The worst things will be the blights that show up on the ground and the sentries, the Eyes of Riven, or whatever those taken turrets are called. Oh, we found one. Oh, that's interesting. The thing we got out of the chest counted. They might all be in chests. The rest might all be behind doors, which means it's limited. Not limited. Sort of limited. Restricted. No one can probably get them all right this instant, if they are behind doors. And this just requires us to complete on Master difficulty. which we can also do. Me and my brother might be able to do that almost easier, actually. But perhaps not the second, yes. Not quite the second, indeed. Hole. This is an odd thing. What even is this emblem? Okay, what's the Eververse store got for us this time? Well, we already have that. It's a nice ornament. Not really interested. Is this one new? As of last season? Yeah, not at all my style. This one looks rather odd. It looks like it has a very decorated design in some regards, but at the same time it gives me an almost industrial militant vibe. How odd. Interesting. While we were doing activities, I noticed something odd. Let's see. We were getting engrams for other things, but we weren't really getting much for the war table. Particularly the sonar station we were getting engrams for. And that's nice and all, but without getting ones for the war table, I won't be able to craft the sword for the warlock anytime soon. It is troubling. Kind of like what they did to glaives, which I recently discovered. Their damage reduction to the glaives is quite significant, is what I've learned when we were in trials last session. If you're not using an aggressive frame, well, you're liable to essentially not be able to beat your opponent if they have 100 resilience. And if you do beat your opponent, then they messed up at that point, I would say. It's not so much, oh, you did good.
I understand your concern, but if we cannot rely upon the veil, the Ahamkara is our only option.
Even if it was Savathun who pointed us at Riven in the first place?
The witness is our
Didn't I
priority.
listen to this already?
We've dealt with Savathun and Riven in the past.
And now Savathun is free and Riven is toying with us. I won't end up as a puppet again.
Nor I.
Sorry, I didn't mean...
I fear it too. The experience of watching your body perform a series of actions you would never condone. That terrible regret. But that fear won't stop me. Just as I know it won't stop you.
Was any of it real? All that advice Savathun gave me while she pretended to be you?
At the time Aldrin began his campaign against the Reef, he was already suffering from the Black Garden's corruption. Riven must have found him an easy victim. One could argue he wasn't fully in command of his decisions. All the same, the impact of those decisions was very real. So, let me ask you this. Did I give you good advice?
Life-changing.
Then hold on to it.
Oh, shoot. I just remembered that I forgot to... I didn't want to log in because I was concerned that there would be a... Well, complete no login. I didn't want to select one of my characters because I didn't want some kind of a cutscene to start playing. before I start recording.
A timely arrival, Guardian. Another egg from my clutch will soon pass by our reality. You should prepare to claim it. It is a strange turn of events that they were cast into the ascendant plane. Strange, but not unintentional, I suspect. Ask yourself, who would benefit from such a situation? Who wields the requisite mastery over the ley lines? Who has a history of sequestering the Ahamkara to keep them hidden? I said before that I do not trust Mara Saf. Tell me, do you?
Well, currently more than you.
She offers you praise and gifts, bequeaths to you a share of her power. Is she so different from an Ahamkara? From me? Do you truly believe she wishes for nothing in return?
No.
Know this, Guardian. I have been forthright about what I stand to gain from our arrangement. A future for my otherwise extinct kind. Mara, on the other hand, what does she stand to gain?
However, what you stand to gain is problematic for apparently the rest of our people. Mara, on the other hand, she isn't exactly she doesn't ill will against us. Yes. It is not quite as direly concerning. I really want this craftable. Same with this, but this one's rolls are particularly disappointing from what I've analyzed. It'll cost more that way. We're doing it this way. Not a single red frame. And armor. Disappointing. So here's what I'm going to do. Because somehow my armor and stat arrangements has been weirded out. So I'm going to pause and sort all this crap out again. Because I don't want to have to record doing it a whole second time, at least not with the very same character I already did so with recently. Just to find it all somehow to be undone. It is quite annoying. I will resume the recording once it's sorted out. But for you, it shouldn't make too big a difference. It just cuts out a lot of maybe wasted time. Or I'll feel that way until it's done for me. I'll be back. I'm back. That took quite a while. My discoveries along the way is that I remembered that I need to get a better roll of this. I might need a new roll for this. This and this. Maybe this. Probably not, though. Or hopefully not. This I just have to upgrade more. And not only upgrade more, actually, no. I have to upgrade and masterwork this, and this. For them to line up stat-wise. Currently. Smoothly. Yes. Currently, the Lost Sector for arms is up. I might want to run a bit of that today, but I'm unsure. For now, let's go and tackle this. Story stuff. I also sorted out my loadouts up to a point but Bungie still has some problems with it. I intend to experiment a little bit with it to see what I can do. And from what I'm seeing with what's being shown in this menu, some of the stuff is not sorted out the way I want it to be. It's just mostly sorted out kind of how with what I had in mind, I suppose. I want to see this deconstruct. I also want to experiment with how high can I get Winterbite's damage to be for a single shot. I forgot to check to see if I can change my artifact stuff, and if it'll also be noted with my loadout change. I am unsure.
The Techians' calculations look promising so far.
Do they?
The next 8 should be close. Be cautious.
Should
the Taken
be.
have already gained a foothold here.
They
growing
spread
to have
their
my concerns.
influence with mindless fervor, much like awoken royalty.
Nothing else here. While radiant. Can't do that yet. Deconstruct.
Wrath of the Queen, this is not your fight. Somewhere out there, a pack of doomed corsairs waits for you.
I'll be there. They know I'll always be there.
You want
Oh,
to help
prevail in
them.
darkness.
You would do anything.
I will. Without you.
Oh, that's right, the prevail in darkness. I need to hurry. More like freaking blindness. That's an interesting visual effect on the sides of the screen, though, when I go into that. I also want to try Forerunner out a bit more with stasis, because it's had problems before working in correlation with certain attributes. I think I tried to give it a try already, but I don't remember what the results were. I want to try it a bit more thoroughly.
Absent a commanding will, the Taken return to more basic directives. Their corruption may reshape these holes. Deal with them before the path collapses around us.
Why am I? Well, that seemed very potent. I get the feeling these sidearms are gonna get nerfed in PvE. Though I don't expect them to get nerfed in Crucible. If they do, I'm going to be a little weirded out. I mean, sure, maybe I just wasn't all that great with it when I
Set
tried it.
obstacles in our path, mock our efforts, all while we seek to save your eggs. Is gloating over the ruin you made of our home worth losing them forever?
You set the snare, then complained that I refused to lay my neck within it. To beg and weep for what you desire, that is not in me.
Well, if it wants this fulfilled, similar to what the Queen was saying, I do agree. There's no good reason to stand in our way. Because then you risk, well, just like Mara said, you risk losing them. Armkara is not being very smart right now, it seems.
Is a nexus of corruption. Such a high concentration of energy will destabilize the ley lines. Destroy it, or our efforts end here.
Even the explosion damage is I wonder. I think I tried testing that already and the results... Wait, deconstruction is triggered. How does that work? It's a buff that's lingering. Not what I expected. He died fast. Ow. was weird. Standing in the light didn't really do a whole lot for a while. Goodbye. Oh, another one. Oh,
Another egg secured. Well done, Guardian. The Taken aren't the only creatures attempting to thwart us. Riven seeks to entangle us in another loop, to keep us chasing down her clutch while the Witness runs rampant.
Oh.
If this is a game, it suits your purposes. Sealing the eggs away, buying time for your broken warlock to cheat me. You have my terms. See this through, or make peace with your fate.
I see. Okay then. So she's treating it more like war, and she's being a bit petty. Especially for one who's already dead. My. Oh, that's a different quest entirely. I mistook the symbol for being the same as those. I just saw there was a symbol and it was over here. Why is it so close? Couldn't they have put more down here? Or over here? Even then, that's still a little bit infringing. How about more specifically right here? Why there of all places? My. Dealing damage, sustained damage grants damage bonus. Oh. Okay, dealing sustained damage against anything? Dealing sustained damage grants damage bonuses against vehicles and constructs. Partially refills the magazine from reserves. And partially refills the magazine from reserves. What, just while the perk is going, it'll just continually do this? Or it does this at some point? Damage with with primer ammo or against constructs provides additional progress. Damage bonus against vehicles and constructs, but I don't think they view a frozen target as a construct. Icicle, yes, but you don't need bonus damage against an icicle so much when you already can break it in a single shot.
You've made excellent progress, but the remainder of the clutch will never reach us if they remain on their current trajectories.
Oh.
Queen Mara and her Techians once communed with the Harbingers. Entities that can traverse the weft and weave of the ley lines. Mara's personal Harbinger can bring the clutch home, but she'll need to guide it with a signal. We need you to retrieve a Starlight Lodestone. It's a channeling medium the Queen can use to signal the Harbinger. All this to help Riven while the Dreaming Halls remain locked in her curse. The temporal loop that binds the Dreaming City could continue to plague the reef indefinitely. I wish my people could rest. I wish I could aid the trapped Corsairs across our shores. But Riven's curse is just a preamble compared to the final shape. The witness seeks to finish what it started with the collapse. And so we remain occupied. And Rhea Sylvia burns. I regret we can do no more to advance your position in the field, but I'll be in touch as soon as the Queen finishes her communion.
So if the witness aims to end, well, everything, basically all of existence, wouldn't Riven kind of care? I mean, if Riven cares about her eggs, well, she can say goodbye to her eggs if the witness succeeds. Like, say we succeed in getting them all back, and then fail to deal with the witness. Everything's dead. So then it was just all for naught at that point. Given her position, her directly getting in our way? At that point it feels like she's just being a bit greedy, yes. Similar to what she was saying about a bargain. Naturally, you don't want to relinquish very much. And you want to gain as much as possible. Yeah, that's reasonable, up to a point. When you start being greedy, pushing it, you also can jeopardize your own objectives in the first bloody place. It is a gamble. A gamble to essentially try to get more profit on your end. Or that's what it seems like. By pushing it into a harder situation for us, we look to the notion of it as, to the notion that we can't lose. Well, naturally, if we do, it means the end for us all. So she gambles on the notion that we won't let it come to a loss for ourselves. She can kind of just do whatever the heck she wants. Getting in our way isn't really a problem for her. If she genuinely believes we can win, and that we won't give up. So if she backs us into another corner, we'll have to make another wish, and then another wish, and another wish. She can essentially just milk this scenario for all it's worth until she's satisfied, or decides she just wants a bit more, you know? I mean, she gets all her eggs back, and what if she wants, like, tea, and, I don't know, like, all the support of the city, and, I don't know, how about to rule the galaxy, too, afterwards? Which, I think, it'll just end up being really dumb at that point. But if it was really our only solution, we were gonna have to take it at some point, or just die stubbornly, choosing not to accept the terms of her agreement. I've been concerned about how this perk works on a regular weapon, or not a bow, more like in this case. When I looked into this perk a while back, I came to the understanding that for weapons that aren't bows, or more specifically, bows are given a little bit of leeway with this perk, supposedly. But because I have not tried it, I would
going to keep hitting us until we win this.
I would like to try it with this. Is that the end of the story for this week? Oh. Just a lost sector, huh? Simple enough. Is it a mission we start? Because there's no lost sector right there. But the reload will be too much. Nothing to hasten the reload. We'll go with that. No. Yeah, that wore off very quickly. I'm gonna have to try a full barrage of that against a boss target. That's surprising. Okay, I did not expect that. Put it over there. That's where the lost sector is, I think. Hold on a moment. That is the right one, yes. Chamber of Starlight, just like I thought. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Why is it there? That's ridiculous. It's not even in the same zone that the actual lost sector is in. But it is leading me there. That's a bad way for them to do this. It should have been somewhere over here on the map. If they didn't want to put it right on the lost sector, but it leads you there anyway, so it's kind of like just having it tracked. The fact that it's leading me there in the first place, like anyway, tells me that it's kind of pointless. They might as well just had it right on the spot of the lost sector, like dead on. The only reason I can picture not doing that is because legendary lost sectors exist, so then put it just really close to it. To avoid confusion. There's no reason to put it way over there, where they had it. Unless this lines up on the map now. Nope, not even. No point. No reason for a bad decision.
How many ceremonies did I attend here? They weren't all lofty, serious affairs. The lights, the singing. It was beautiful once.
There will be no interruptions between me and the sniper. Except for just the sound of missed shots. If it disappears that quickly, even at higher stages of it. Yeah, no. It takes 2 shots for it to even start to trigger. It's gonna be taken up to 5. It's wasted value on a sniper like this. What a shame. Heavily wasted value. The bow, it was pretty easy to make use of it.
Is slain until she rises again. She'll go on haunting the Chamber of Starlight forever. Shiro-chi says, if beautiful places cannot survive, why fight at all? I'll have to come up with an answer for her. Bring back the Lodestone Guardian. Let's move on.
Here we go. It'd be pretty goofy if we get right to the end of this deal and we're right about to, well, confirm or complete the transaction. And then Cyrus is like, ah, yes, I figured it out. Wait. Don't sign it, the contract. No. We don't need her. Just move on. Oh.
So this is what? The third bargain we've struck with a compulsive liar?
Having your back to the wall is never a good feeling.
It's so much worse. Being back in the Dreaming City.
Now that you remember?
I know every inch of it. The gardens, the palace. How it used to be. Before Riven's curse.
Oh. Crow.
If it wasn't for me, the curse would never have happened.
Riven used you. Used us. Our grief, our desperation. I wanted vengeance more than anything. The truth is, if I thought hiding from my guilt would help anyone, I'd be on the far side of the system.
You don't think we're just making the same mistake?
Uldren used to say, if you don't like the odds, don't sit at the table. Trusting Riven is a risk, but without her, we have no way of pursuing the witness. I'd rather risk failing than wait here for the final shape.
Right there with you.
Ah,
Guardian,
any news?
we are coming to the final moments.
Wait, we are?
These
You make
choices, these risks,
it sound like it's almost
they
complete.
mean everything. Mara requests that I provide some small measure of insurance should Riven prove too perilous a gamble. I've learned the Veil is linked to the Traveler. That this link was not created. It is a primal truth of their existence, a pairing. The Witness accessed this link through your ghost. The motions of what it did are written in the Veil's own memory. But like an incantation, without the ritual, the understanding, the words, so to speak, the motions are useless. My attempts to recreate what the Witness did, to follow it, have been inadequate.
Well,
And dangerous.
indeed.
I must temper my ambitions. The Veil is the power of consciousness, made manifest in our physical world. It whispers an electromagnetic language that resonates with our minds. One that can be deciphered, but not by the laws we wield in this universe. It's no easy task. If there is another way to follow the Witness, I'll find it here, on Neptune.
Or
It will
somewhere
take
else.
time,
Who
as all
knows?
things do. Continue to aid Mara, and I will uncover what knowledge I can.
As far as how the Witness opened a portal, I mean, I don't think it's so simple as recreating what the Witness did to the Traveler. Because it already opened a portal, and that portal's still open. Finding out how to gain safe passage through that portal, on the other hand, now that would be most useful. No, I suppose he's just hoping the information will be there alongside with how to open it, like he did. Or more of the specifications to it.
Another egg safely
Oh, a bug.
retrieved.
Nice.
I may have to make good on my word.
Well, you better if we do
Though from
for
what
ours.
the Techians whisper, the rest will prove more elusive.
Yes.
Mara may have to take drastic measures to catch them.
Like what?
All reward requires risk. Mara knows this truth better than most. That is what first enticed me to stay with the Sov siblings. Their penchant for adventure. Their unquenchable ambition. Each of them deliciously reckless in their own way. Your crow hides it well, but I can still smell Aldrin's daring nature on him.
Well, pain has cautioned him in some
Imagine
regards.
what he could accomplish if only he'd embrace it. Ah,
Or die
but
trying.
You charge headlong into danger without a second thought.
Wait, I have plenty of
All
thoughts.
for the promise of power. I knew from the first moment I set eyes on a light bearer that your kind would change everything for the Ahamkara.
Yeah, you're dead now.
And oh, how right I was.
And dead. Risk. All reward requires risk, huh? Maybe you have a point. I mean, look at this bow. Free for the taking. Or is it? I mean, how do I even take it? I mean, I know how you... Or do I? I think I know how you take it. But it just simply says X. It doesn't actually say that it'll take it. In fact, for all I know, it could be telling me that there's a button combination to see the details. It says X and then triangle. I mean, silliness aside, I'm fairly confident that, as I just did, it would be claimable with X, like most items portrayed in such a manner are. But still, it does not quite remove how odd that was just now. Oh wow, these have it too. I'm assuming that's the end of the story for this week. Yes, it is. This whole system's pretty stupid. The fact that I need to ascend these ranks just so that I can unlock more of these, which will all have limited value because my inventory is clogged with so many pieces of gear that, well, my. Let's grab these for now. I won't grab extras though. Where's the map saying to go that way? It's because this teleporter, this room, is for some reason angled this way, when it could have been angled that way. I wonder why they've chosen to orientate it in such a fashion. Hello?
Queen Mara,
Oh,
I hail you now out of necessity of the heart. Else I feel as though I will burst into solar flame. Long have I admired you from afar.
who is this?
Ever since you graced me with your power and benevolence in the Reef Wars.
Oh,
Not a day goes by without me thinking back to the time you bade me repay that debt to you. How we spent hours together, long into the night. Would that you spirit me to your side again, to serve as your consort, your knight, your humble vassal, anything to be near you. I beg you to grant me an audience once more. Please give me the gift and the privilege of basking in your favor. For without you, I shall wither and crumble into dust, to be scattered across the cosmic winds.
This again?
You and I both know he sounds nothing like that, Riven.
Oh, that is not unexpected.
Perhaps I should use a voice with which you are even more intimately familiar. How about...
Do not speak her name.
Oh.
As you wish, O Majesty mine.
Intriguing. That's interesting. Perhaps that's why I didn't recognize that it was Shax's voice initially. At first I couldn't tell. I had to look over to the top right corner to see his name. It wasn't immediately apparent to me. Okay. Hasn't even been an hour, well, of recording time. So, we completed the story. Wait a minute. Oh, it must be on Neomuna. What's the stakes for it? We got Arm Exotic that we can get. Haven't grinded for anything like this in a while. Or I could jump into the dungeon. I mean, me and my younger brother have completed the dungeon now. So we don't really have to go together every time. We didn't really have to go together in the first place, but it was appreciated. That certainly went a lot better than it probably would have if I had gone by myself. Arc threat. It's not telling me all the conditions. We shall go and investigate, I suppose. Oh my. That's a pretty good pairing. Though, compact shaft would be better. This is what I would go for next, though, if compact shaft was somehow unavailable, or unacquirable, or just... I didn't have much of an option but settling with something else for the time being. This is a good choice, I'd say. I mean, while I'm here, perhaps some of these bounties could be useful?
Can't wait to see what you do with this.
Just gonna grab them. I might waste them, so don't get your hopes up.
Shadow Legion's got their psychic jackhammer up and running again. See if we can break it for good this time.
That's weird. Why did I not have any double jumps? When I got off, I tried to double jump, but it didn't let me. Then I bumped into the wall. And then suddenly I could... Oh, no, not again. Fine, I'll do it the way I didn't really want to do it. There we go. What are the actual modifiers for this? Yeah, that's what I thought. There's also surges. But this little menu doesn't tell you that. It lacks important information. Ooh. There's a little theory going on between me and my older brother that perhaps some of these might stack together, even though Bungie said they didn't. But we're unsure. To my knowledge, these aren't supposed to stack with each other. This would stack with your pants surge, and so would this. But these cancel out, or count as, I guess, the same thing when they line up. So they wouldn't, like, get double power or anything. It would just be one or the other. It's going to be a 25% one way or another, essentially, if it aligned with both. But that's what I thought it to be beforehand. I am unsure now. Arc threat. Solar and void, we shall see. Unstoppable and barrier. We can deal with barrier with a sidearm, and bows can handle unstoppable. And the singe is strand and solar. Solar aligns very nicely for this, it looks like. Though so too does a glaive. I wonder. Let's give it a whirl like this. Mostly like this, anyway. I'm kind of curious to see how the other two pieces of gear will fare on their own. Let's amplify our primary with this. Here we go. Though with no glaive in hand. My. Whee! Magnificent. Wait, how was he flying? Well, that was concerning. Oh. Oh, no, you don't. Of course, some may bring out enemies from behind. Dang it. Why is that guy glowing so brightly? Already? Dying that fast is very problematic. It was using sights and then it suddenly just stopped using its laser sight? That's a bit ridiculous. Well, you. Goodbye. One rocket launcher. Ignition supreme. Yes, I think I like it quite a lot. Hello! Oh, I forgot about that. That guy was doing quite a lot of damage. When did everyone come up here? That's rather annoying. It ignites them so well, and I'm not even using a solar subclass right now. Huh? Hello? Too many snipers. Ow. Well, that seems rather effective. Oh boy. Hi there. Crap. Rather effective indeed. Oh no! This is not your happy days, sir. No, not at all. The end is here! That's very close. They almost got me at the last second. My. Ooh, if I can get the engrams from doing this, this expansion, this season, may very well be the best time ever to grind lost sectors like this. Yes, very much so indeed. I might be able to benefit off it even further if I tweak this a bit. Can I not change it right now? That's really dumb. Oh yes, the activity locks your gear. Like, that makes a valid, reasonable difference. It makes a difference, just an annoying one. It's not like, oh yes, you're more skillful because you couldn't change your gear. If the one set of gear is good enough for you, then it's good enough for you. If anything, I guess it's more of a testament to your planning than it is to how skillful you are. Let's go at it a bit differently this time. I wonder how fast would I have ignited them if I was using solar. Which glaive to use though? I could use two. Yes, I could. Though I need some way of breaking their barriers. I have an idea. Yes. Problem is nothing to fuel it. Perhaps I do have a different idea, yes. Let's see, where's that other glaive? Oh great, my phone's being ridiculous. Can't even connect to the own internet in my own house. But why? Oh, there we go. Which one to go with? This one would help me survivability-wise. Let's go with this one. And what to wield? Yeah, let's go with this. Oh, my resilience. That is a bit troubling, but let's try it anyway. Okay. Okay. Given all the buffs they've had to them, that did a surprisingly low amount of damage. I'm not impressed. Though I'm underpowered, so... Oh dear. Huh, so it works. They fixed it. That's weird. My melee's frozen faster than I anticipated they would. Just like that, suddenly my restoration felt like it was already gone. No, it came down. What? Where the heck did he? Cheater. How come my radiance didn't apply to this? How odd. What's more is where the heck's all the special ammo? There we go. A new difficulty created by a simple lack of ammo. Why didn't it freeze him? Yeah, no. Can't win now. I mean, no ammo. The closest thing I could get to winning is somehow managing to land 3 melees on him fast enough to freeze him and then super him. but no ammo. And because of the brilliant design of can't change your gear, you can't remedy such a mistake of not locking yourself into one setup. Oh, there just happens to be special ammo here now. You know, I missed when guys staggered. It made sense. I mean, usually most things that are that height and that size don't just take 2 arrows from a space bow to the head. And just continue to walk away like it's no big deal. Crap! Oh, that's so messed up! Did more damage than I thought it was going to do initially, but it wasn't enough to kill him. So on account of how Radiance doesn't do anything to Winter's Bite, it's not like Winter's Bite is a anti-barrier weapon or unstoppable weapon or overload weapon. Yes, I'm aware it does have effects on it that would cause 2 things to happen. But that's no excuse if Bungie wants it to be in a way where status, like special buffs, don't affect it, then label it with something. Both if you must. I mean, this one, the unstoppable aspect of it, I think is, well, actually, it doesn't clarify whether or not it had to be the perfectly drawn one. Just thinking about any of these weapons that have something that's conditional for their effect. I mean, this one very well might work. That's what I'll try now. Probably, well, it's gonna have to be paired with solar. Radiance, after all. Just so I can make sure that I have Radiance when the time comes, I guess. Ouch. even is that attribute? Oh. Well, this thing can shoot a jolt in shots, so that would make it technically like an overload weapon, if that's how Bungie wants to look at things. But no, it looks like it can be radiant, which seems to do nothing to their shields, mind you. My. What? Oh no. That's so messed up. No radiance. Oh, I didn't even have a melee ability ready yet. I mean, it's not like I've been throwing it all over the place. Somehow my fandangled other tactic seems to have done a lot better. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that aligning the overcharged weapon with the activities surge didn't seem to power it up any further. Because if that's what that would be, that's just really, really weak. Bizarrely pathetic. I want to try with this again, but it is troubling. If I try again with that, I'm not going to use this one. Let's see what we have here. Even though that one's pretty good.
Getting word of more strangeness in our cyber city. No creepy voices, but definitely more quaking and shaking than anyone's cool with. Bet it's one of the Legion's disruptor arrays. If you see one, shoot it down. I mean, shut it down. Actually, do both.
That should be a fair choice. Let's see what this is like. But what exotic armor to use? Well, I need to be able to have the radiance, so this probably is just a good choice after all. Though I'm curious about something.
The disruptor has been disrupted! For now, anyway. Keep shooting till it's gone for good.
Okay. If I'm wrong, if it is being taken into account, then this should hurt a lot. Wait, something's wrong. Why did it look like I was doing so little damage? I'm doing even less damage now, I think. Well, that did a lot of damage, though, to that guy. But to this guy, no, not so much. Yeah, that's kind of pathetic amount of damage, considering that's with a 25% damage increase due to the overcharged glaives. Its normal damage it would have done to him would have been something probably more like what a regular glaive should be doing. in here. And this one, despite how I should have like buffs with it that are quite potent going, all together, still not doing the trick. Didn't even kill him, they only did 23,000. The fact that I got it to do almost as much damage as Winterbite was doing to the boss just now is a little bit ridiculous though. Bosses get far too much damage reduction just for what they are, I guess. Snipers. Ridiculous. Dang it. Why isn't it freezing him? That was a long period of time it just was not willing to try to even attempt to start slowing him. What the heck was going on? So close. With all the buffs that it's got going for itself right now, that's the most I can do? That's the most I can do to a boss? That's pathetic. It's a wonder how Bungie didn't, like, double its damage as its base against boss targets specifically. Fine, I know doubling the damage would have been a bit too extreme. But extreme is almost what it needs right now. Maybe not that extreme, but it needs something. Oh, great. I should probably go to sleep, unfortunately. But I would like to win at least one more time.
Heads up, pal. Nezarek may be dead, but the Shadow Legion's still taking a page out of his freaky book of tricks. Intervene, would ya? At least this was able to do about 50,000 to the boss. I'm trying to recall what kind of buffs I had on at the time. I had Radiance. Oh, great. How comes he didn't shatter? That's weird. $60,000. That's
That's a little bit more acceptable anyway. But for its ammo economy, that's still pretty terrible. I'm trying to figure out how that other Scion even got slowed. I hadn't hit him yet. I mean, this works because it shoots arguably faster. It has a blast radius, which the glaives don't have. Like I was telling my brothers, that this sidearm single-handedly basically has everything the glaives wish they had damage-wise, offense-wise. The only thing the glaives got that this doesn't have is an advanced melee, but that advanced melee is only so much in certain cases. And the shield, the same. It's only so much in certain cases, like in Crucible particularly. Interestingly enough, though, the glaive shot seems to work better in Crucible than this one's shot. With little to no effort, this is already doing more damage than the glaive with so much effort. The blast was doing almost similar damage. Assuming I win, I kind of want to try it one more time using Void instead of Stasis. If only this could be used with other up classes, though, like other... It'd probably just be my favorite exotic near enough entirely at that point. could here. Why? Also, why did the ice shard take so long to show up? I was gonna go grab it. But when I didn't see it show up for a while, I was like, nope, I guess there's no reason to go that way. I was like, it just didn't work. It was like the first thing I thought when it didn't show up immediately was, well, I guess it just didn't work. Oh, great. No, it's teleporting. That's good. Move! Oh, come on. Dang it. Yeah, I'm starting to think this doesn't actually have a limit on its range. Huh. Ow. Even though for a special weapon its damage isn't extreme, it actually having a good amount of ammo makes it not so concerning. This is a good weapon for even a hard activity. Damage-wise, it is good. This one doesn't even have any damage traits on it right now. It has this stupid perk. But the glaives, even when I did almost all I could do, is so it felt. No. This can hurt regular enemies a lot. This can hurt regular enemies a lot. But that's about it. This one can hurt boss enemies. about as much as I feel like it should have when it came out. Then it should have received a buff like how they were saying. The buff they gave it, in an activity like this, well, I'm underpowered. I'm being perhaps maybe a little too harsh then with that thought in mind. Yes. But it's hard to tell because some other high-end gear would hit a lot harder in a place like this. Like, this felt like it was just fine up to a point. But how many shots of this did I shoot at the boss and he wasn't dead? This, I don't remember. I could have shot plenty of that at him as well. With that thought in mind, it's a bit hard to say for sure. Well, I wanted to test. Let's see what I want to test. I wanted to test using Void instead. Problem is, I won't be able to grant myself the damage buff very easily. Yes, not very easily indeed. There should be nothing for Void this season, so it's not really gonna matter very much. Wait a minute. Into one? Huh. How have I not noticed this one? It does not look like it's combined them all into one. It looks like there's two separate ones. Ridiculous. Did I not have Devour yet? Did it just wear off and I didn't notice? Does it heal me that? Is it healing that bad now? I just haven't noticed that either? not work the way I wanted it to. That looked weird. It looked like he just died abruptly when he wasn't supposed to die just yet. Crap, why'd he hide? While his friend was getting mugged, he chose to run for it. You still died anyway. Did a comparable amount of damage. Oh, just doesn't feel like putting up your shield, huh? Ridiculous. Okay, so it was more. Why did it do less to it when it was... That's so weird. How comes it was less with the actual tether? Or perhaps when they're stunned like that, they actually take more damage. I think it's safe to say that I rather much like the sidearm though. I do feel like its rate of fire is ever so slightly a little too slow, which is made only worse by how one of its only decent damage traits that you can get for it is Adagio, which if you ask me, I don't think that trait amps its damage enough to justify lowering its speed. I think it should be a bit, probably quite a bit more of a potent, maybe not the most potent damage perk, but I do think it should be a more damaging perk. Oh, come on! Why isn't it stunning him? That's several arrows I've used on him yet, and it's... Dang it. Okay. That's almost good enough for me to be satisfied a little bit. Because this is a tough activity that I'm in. And even with a 2 surge on my, with my legs. Oh. I was able, with the help of a tether, to get to 70,000 by myself. That's pleasing to me. That would have been nice if going on like melee rampages with this exotic arms gave you ammo for glaives. It felt like I was starting to shoot faster. Is it just me? Or one way or another, I almost don't care. This sidearm's just really, really nice. Oh, great. Of course there's the guy there. The guy there who doesn't need to be there. You see? He could just been anywhere else where he's not in my... What are you doing in the corner over here? Oh, we're at the front door, or the entrance way. I did not realize that that's where I was. I thought I was like way over there. That guy's too tough for his own good. Well, now suddenly I have a whole bunch of ammo. Wait, it just broke something. What the heck did it just damage? There shouldn't have been anything over here for it to damage. Okay, it was probably one of those. Except that time I didn't see damage numbers, so it has me concerned. Assuming I get to run this again when I awaken. Assuming... yeah, it should be still up. Never mind, I don't have to be concerned. The daily reset doesn't happen until, what, almost a full day from this point. Very good sidearm. Unlike the glaives, damage-wise, this sidearm is very, very nice. Why is shooting it feel so odd, though? Actually, kind of almost makes me, it reminds me of shooting a glaive. But it's got a blast radius, which is absurd. Because the glaive looks like it should probably have a blast radius to its shot, and it just doesn't. With how weak it is, that would be easy to justify, I think. Very easy to justify. Also, rocket-assisted frame. They can land precision hits. So, to Bungie, if you're listening, what about rocket launchers? Grenade launchers? What, they just can't hit precision points? What about this, then? Why is this able to do it? Or you're saying that, oh no, it's a bullet with a jet on the back of it. Well, can't we just tip out our rockets with, like, a tip so it can have precision damage? It has impact damage. So why can't it have precision damage? That's a bit ridiculous. That impact should be able to be something precise. How weird. How weird indeed. And while I say that I would like it to be a little bit stronger, because from what I just saw, yeah, it can be pretty powerful. Even in a hard activity, it can be powerful now. Whereas before, it almost couldn't be. There was a lot stacking on it in this activity, though, to make it do damage that I imagine this probably would have done pretty easily. And this has, like, not double its ammo supply, but it almost feels like it. Now, I might be wrong. Maybe in this activity this wouldn't actually have done that much while I'm this underpowered. But if it got even close, when you consider how it does almost have double this thing's ammo capacity. Well, not quite. It has 15, this is 9, but 3 ammo out from this thing's ammo capacity. My. This, given how the first time I ran into that lost sector in this session, I was using Dragon's Breath, I kind of want to compare it to it. But when I think real good and hard about how this exotic is, it's very interesting. It makes me think of Anarchy and Parasite put together, but with Scorch instead of just regular damage. However, unlike Parasite, you're not going to be able to, which you wouldn't be able to fire a effectively really powerful second shot all too quickly after the first one. Not likely, anyway. This one, because it has this, it does have the potential to be used more like an auto-loading rocket launcher. Because of this, it is somewhat reliable, especially if you're using solar with the right fragments. I don't know what this does, and I'm intrigued to see what it will do. And so far, yeah, I think I like this rocket launcher enough to say pretty confidently, I think I'd want to keep this as a permanent part of my arsenal, I think. Unlike Galahorn. Galahorn was significantly not as interesting as this one. This one's very amusing. The only problem is, because of how damage works in this game, might have a similar problem to this super. Whereas if someone else is using it too, they might kind of steal damage from each other. In a way that'll make the whole team do less damage. I don't know, but it might.
The disruptor array is gone. Maybe not for good, but for now the Cloud Ark is stable and the citizens are happy. All thanks to you, friend.
I mean, when I was using it the first time I went in there, it was doing really good damage. And I hadn't weakened the target or anything. I was using Strand. But for Winter's Bite to get to that height of damage, I had to use a tether on them. And have surges going. I don't recall putting any surges to this when I used it the first time. Though to be fair, if you had those surges, you could probably just go full force with this right away. This will take a little bit of time to do that. And it does its damage over time in the first place. Which is why it reminds me of this. But the payout reminds me of Parasite. Or at least in potential, that's what makes me think of. I feel like there's really, really big damage to be had with this rocket launcher. I'm intrigued to see where it'll go with its catalyst. I'm just sad to see the fall of one of my favorite ways of doing damage, because with how much weaker it is, yeah, I feel like it's just, it doesn't feel like it's making enough progress against the target. It's just too slow now. It shoots the same speed. I mean, it won't kill the target fast enough now. It might in some ways fit better as a special weapon, depending on how one looks at special weapons, but then there's this. This is a special weapon. You could boss damage a raid boss with this thing.
Put a stop to it, would ya?
This, I'm not so sure anymore. Maybe if no one else was using Jolt. Like, if no one else was using anything Jolt related, then perhaps, but it's, at that point, still, I'm not sure. Its ammo capacity is where it's winning against almost everything at this point. Though. Just because of its free shot that it gets. So for sustainability damage, maybe not so bad. With that notion, I'd want to pair it with strand debuffs, like Unraveled, because you can just keep it going. Meanwhile this, if you did this to a target that was tethered, well, it's questionable. Would I want to use Solar or Void for it? I feel like one of these also did something interesting in this regard, but it must have just been this. Wall of Radiant. Deal increased weapon damage to combatants affected by strand and stasis. This will be useful for my Warlock, probably, if I pair it with Rain of Fire, and then just use strand. Deal increased weapon damage. And that's even further increased because Radiance already increases your damage. So, my. The glaives still don't hit hard enough, and that's what bugs me. Just a bit harder. And that would do. When we were in the dungeon, though, it was just fine. What's more is if we did the harder version of the dungeon, while we're up to power, pretty much, I think it would be doing even more. Well, it depends on what attributes are going for it. And despite how I kind of want to continue to ramble on, I should probably stop now. No stasis one, unfortunately. Unfortunately indeed. Meaning I wouldn't be able to ramp its power up all that much. But solar glaives I could. Not that that's going to make a whole big difference. Unless I'm using one, you know. A very good sidearm. But the one downside to wielding it seems to be this. It is somewhat amusing, though, if anything. Yes. Oh well. I'm going to end it here. Like I was saying. As usual, it's been me, Fuzz. And you'll see me again next time. Bye for now.